Hi, this is Glenda. First of all, I would like to give a big thank you to Glenda at Wicked Glen 1 for encouraging some of her friends to look at my channel and subscribe. It's really hard to get any sort of following when you first start on YouTube, and I appreciate everybody who subscribed because they are a little bit of work, and it's kind of nice to think somebody's watching, so thank you very much. I wanted to make a hat. There's a few people been making hats, and I really didn't need a little hat, so I thought, how can I flatten it and make it for a card? So this is what I came up with. This is my flat hat. It's actually a relatively flat card for me. A lot of mine can't be mailed, but that's okay. I don't use them anyway, I give them away. So yeah, this is my flat hat. I used some silk that I had left over from a lampshade that I made back in the 80s. It's funny, the lampshade's long gone, but the remnants hang around. It's two different shades, which helps give it a bit of depth. It's pretty straightforward. It's a couple of circles on top of each other, but I'll run through how you do it anyway, just for something to do. So you need 2 circles of cardboard. You can make this any size you like. Sorry, I've got glue strings on my hands. These ones are 3 3/4 by 2 1/4. So you just need your 2 circles. You need some sort of padding. This is a sort of a thick fuzzy felt that I may have just saved from packaging. It's anything you've got around. You can use some foam, some fun foam, anything you happen to have on hand. So we're just going to put 1 layer on the big circle. Like so. This fabric, I'm fairly sure I saved from packaging a cutlery set or something like that I was given probably when I got married. It's a little mark, which won't matter because it'll be covered by the top. So you want to trim that. One thing I did find, I had quite a big satin stash, and I got it all out when I wanted to make lollipop flowers. And I discovered vintage satin is not the same. If you singe the edges of your vintage satin, it'll go up in flames. So obviously they put a fire retardant nowadays that they didn't used to. So just something to be aware of if you are a hoarder of things like me. Sometimes the old is not the same. But we're not singeing for this, so it really won't matter. I don't know if this has got a right and wrong side. So we're just going to lay it on, turn it over, and you're just going to glue alternate sides. The previous fabric I used, because it was so sheer, I found I didn't have to snip the circle at all. You can just pull it. I'm hoping this will be the same. So you just keep going around on opposites until you've pulled it all in. Glue strands and fabric strands and okay, so that's the bottom. Now the top piece you want to put 2 layers underneath so that you give your hat a bit of height, and 1 layer on top. That is the small piece. Sorry, probably off camera. do both these bottom layers together. Doing the same thing with the fabric. And make sure that you get, the double layer is the one that you're gluing to. Exactly the same thing back and forth. Not too bad. Now, because I haven't got two different colours for this one, I'm going to put a piece of lacy fabric. I think that's the right. Okay. This is left over from, I think it was from a bridesmaid's dress my mother wore, which makes it late 40s, mid 40s, so it's very vintage. I think she must have cut the hem off because this has obviously been made, but chopped off. Once again, the dress is long gone, but here's the remnant. There's photos of her in it. It was like a wedding dress. It was quite amazing. She hoarded it in her stash, and now it's in my stash. If I don't use it all up, well, it'll end up in my daughter's stash. That's not too wide. The card I made is a 5x7. It was going to be a standard card, and by the time I put the lace around the edge it needed to be on a slightly bigger card. I'm not happy with the way that's sitting, so I'm actually going to put an extra piece in, or not. Okay, so I've chosen a few embellishments. I'm going to start with feather there. I'm going to attach these to the top rather than the bottom, just so I don't end up with glue where it shouldn't be. Hopefully I won't. Snip that off. So I want that to end up covering that join. This one to end up there, but I already lost my ribbon. I put lace on the last one. I think I'll put a bit of ribbon on this one. Sorry. I've still got glue bits on me. Thought I'd got them off. So I want the ribbon to come feather under the ribbon. Love these feathers. Just snipping a bit off to the side. Okay, so that's good to stick on. Ow. Pressure. And an extra glue stick. This lace may be a bit too wide. Definitely have a narrower one on the other one. Okay, so around the sides, what I used last time was this pearl trim, which I think I got from a treasure nest, which is a really good place to buy trims, and that works well. This one would work equally well, which I just got at the local craft store. Ribbon would work, but I think I'm going to use this rose trim. The thing about crafting now is so different to crafting in the 80s. We couldn't get anything here. There were no pretty trims or fancy tools. Crafting was a whole different thing. Now it's a massive, massive industry. Okay. I remember I tried quilling back in the 80s, and I mean, we had no internet. There was no way of buying from overseas, and instructions always said a quilling tool. Well, there was no such thing as a quilling tool for sale in Australia. There just wasn't. I used a bamboo skewer, which I had to narrow down. Ah, the olden days. Trim off the tails. Stick pin to go for this feather. I'm just going to need a bit of glue on the end. And I put it right through my mat and everything. Good one. Just fix that. There we go. I'm not sure if I'll add any more flowers or anything to that. I might even just declare that one done. I think I like the other pearl trim better. It gave a more even edge, but anyway, that's what happens when you do it in front of people. Here's the one I didn't do in front of people. So anyway, that's my flat hat. Thanks for watching.